To our first topic, Blumhouse and Lionsgate collaborate on a fresh installment of the Blair Witch Project. I love that movie. The 1999 original Blair Witch, it set the standard and the template for found footage films going forward. For those of you who may not know, found footage movie is basically when a movie is shot from the perspective of a handheld camera. You know, those kind of movies. So, just in case you didn't know. So, at CinemaCon today, Lionsgate and Blumhouse made a thrilling announcement. They're teaming up to bring a new chapter of terror to audiences with a fresh installment of the Blair Witch Project. So this collaboration marks the beginning of multi-picture agreement between Blumhouse and Lionsgate. That's great. One of my most favorite studios at the moment is Blumhouse. I love their movies. They're so good. Don't get me wrong, every now and again they have a hit and miss, kind of record when it comes to their movies. Not all of their movies land on the mark, but when they do, they come out with some really great horror movies aimed at reimagining horror classics from Lionsgate extensive library. That's great. So Blumhouse now has access to the Lionsgate horror library, which is great to hear. So they've got a whole nother load of catalog of IP that they can bring to the table to make these kind of horror, cheap horror budget movies that that Blumhouse is known for. So Adam Fogelson, chair of Lionsgate Motion Picture Group, and Jason Blum, founder and CEO of Blumhouse, unveiled the news, promising an electrifying return to the iconic franchise. So under the helm of Blumhouse, known for its mastery of horror, this project is set to redefine the genre once again. With hits like Paranormal Activity, guys, if you haven't seen Paranormal Activity, at least go and watch the first two Paranormal Activity movies. It's basically people in a house, their house is kind of haunted by a ghost, and they set up CCTV cameras in their house, and when they're asleep at night, all this creepy stuff happens. I really do recommend it if you haven't seen that series of movies. Insidious, that was great. The Purge is one of my most favorite franchises, but I feel that it's underutilized. I feel the premise could be done a lot better than what it has been, but The Purge is really cool. Halloween, Blumhouse has proven itself to be a powerhouse in the world of horror cinema. Absolutely, they make their films so ridiculously cheap that it's near enough impossible for them to not make a profit on their movies, which is a smart idea, I guess. So their track record of turning modest budgets into box office gold, coupled with critical acclaim for films like Get Out, Incredible, and BlacKkKlansman, speaks volumes. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Make a decent movie, make it for next to no money, make the budget really small. In terms of Hollywood, it's small, sort of like 10 million or less. And, they reap in all the profits they can imagine. So, good for them. So, this is a screenshot here from the 1999 Blair Witch Project. Spoiler, but obviously the movie's been out now for over 20 years, so if you haven't seen the movie, you obviously don't have that much interest in it, but this screenshot here is from towards the end of the movie. One of his friends comes around the corner and sees one of the three students that's featured in the movie. He's kind of standing in the corner, facing the wall, and it's this really kind of ominous ending to the movie. It's really creepy as anything. So, for the latest venture, Jason Blum will collaborate with producer Roy Lee, who previously worked on the 2016 installment Blair Witch franchise. Together, they aim to terrify audiences anew, promising a spine-chilling experience that honors the legacy of the original while pushing the boundaries into uncharted realms of fear. One of the biggest questions I have, if they're doing a remake of the Blair Witch, are they going to keep it as a found footage movie, or are they going to switch it up and have it more like a traditional movie? I feel that to do a Blair Witch movie, it has to be a found footage movie, otherwise you're going to lose the essence of what made the original so great. But could they do it as a normal movie, shot on normal cameras? I guess they could, but I would feel that there's something a little bit missing if they did do that. But they still could, so this comes from producer Roy Lee. I have been incredibly fortunate to work with Jason many times over the years. We forged a strong relationship on The Purge when I was at Universal, and we launched STX with his film The Gift. There is no one better in this genre than the team at Blumhouse, said Fogelson. Oh, this is from Fogelson, sorry. We are thrilled to kick the partnership off with a new vision of Blair Witch that will reintroduce this horror classic for a new generation. We couldn't be more pleased to be working with them on this and other projects we look forward to revealing soon. I'm very grateful to Adam and the team at Lionsgate for letting us play in their sandbox. I'm a huge admirer of the Blair Witch Project, which brought the idea of found footage horror to the mainstream audiences and became a true cultural phenomenon, said Blum. I don't think there would have been a Paranormal Activity had there not been a Blair Witch, so this feels like a truly special opportunity and I'm excited to see where it leads. Like I said, it cannot be understated how important that first Blair Witch movie was. It set the template for all the found footage movies that came after it. And that movie was so realistic. At the time when it came out, they kind of played into that marketing where they made it seem as though the movie was real. I believe that the actual director had to prove that the 3 students who were in the movie, that they didn't actually die. He had to actually prove that they were still alive after the movie was made. Something crazier like that, but like that was the kind of stuff that happened around this movie. It was ridiculous. So, a little bit about the original 1999 movie. So, for those of you who may not know, let's dive in a little bit to the original movie, and let's find out a little bit more for those of you who are watching who may not know about the original Blair Witch Project. So, in 1999, the groundbreaking found footage film, The Blair Witch Project, revolutionized horror cinema, leaving an indelible mark on audiences worldwide. Its innovative storytelling and immersive experience set the new standard for the genre. So, this is what the movie was actually about. So found video footage tells the tale of 3 film students, Heather, Joshua and Michael, who travelled to a small town to collect documentary footage about the Blair Witch, a legendary local murderer. Over the course of several days, the students interview townspeople and gather clues to support the tale's veracity, but the project takes a frightening turn when the students lose their way in the woods and begin hearing horrific noises. So there's all these kind of classic scenes where they go camping in the woods and they wake up in the morning, and then as they wake up in the morning, in the tree, all across the trees above their tents, are these creepy kind of wooden vigils that are kind of like in the shape of these kind of like demonic shapes that have been made and placed in the trees. Like, where did they come from? And you hear all these creepy noises, and the Blair Witch is out there kind of, you know, creeping around the forest, and it's just a really, really ominous, creepy movie. It really is. But it did the suspense so, so well. Guys, if you have not seen the original, please do check it out. You'll love it if you're a horror fan. So the success of the original film led to a rich and expansive universe, with the official follow-up movies in 2000 and 2016, along with a plethora of books and video games that have delved deeper into the chilling lore. So crafted by filmmakers Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, the Blair Witch Project remains a masterpiece that continues to captivate and terrify audiences, showcasing the enduring power of its haunting tale. Yeah, so if that movie wasn't found footage, it probably would have just faded into the dust, but the fact that the movie was actually shot from a handheld camera, and at the time, nobody had really been exposed to found footage movies. People saw the movie, they thought it was a real movie, like a real found footage movie that someone had found in the woods, this camera, and this was a real thing that actually happened, and they played into it with the marketing, and everything that transpired around that original movie was just incredible. I really do, guys, look into the stories that surrounded that original movie. Like I said, trying to prove that the original cast was still alive, and the fact that they played into the movie actually being a real footage. It's really interesting, all the stuff that happened around that movie. So check it out if you're interested in that. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Are you interested in a brand new Blair Witch remake, you know, from that original 1999 movie? Are you excited to see a new Blair Witch going forward? And if they do it, do you want it to be found footage like the original, or do you prefer it to be just a normal kind of movie shot on normal cameras? Let me know all your thoughts, comments, and opinions on that, guys.